Now move to item C, discussion of amendments to Chapter 28 relating to building height provisions, which is the B1. Mr. Arnell.
Thank you, Chairman, members of council. Ms. Allen, your Senior Planner for Development Services, will make the presentation regarding discussion Chapter 28, the B1 in particular. It's your agenda item number 5C.
Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Allen.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the council. For the record, Ingrid Allen, Senior Planner, Development Services Department. The item before you is a very brief update on the proposed amendments to Chapter 28 Code of Ordinances relating to building height and height provisions, more specifically Ordinance number 5345. Now, before I get to the actual update items, I do have a brief overview or summary, if you wish, on the proposed amendments. At the May 27, 2015 City Council meeting, staff was directed to analyze and provide assessments and recommendations regarding current local business B1 and multifamily R2 code provisions that allow for an increase not exceeding 50 feet in the maximum permitted building height for structures. As a result of the Council's directive, a zoning in progress was established. At the September 21st, 2015 City Council workshop, City Council provided its consensus on the building height and height provisions as follows. Delete the current allowances for possible additional building height in R2 and B1 zoning districts. Set a maximum height for accessory structures from 15 feet to 25 feet in the multifamily R3A, R3B, and R3C zoning districts. Delete the reference to stories and retain the measurement of height in feet in the C1 commercial, the light industrial research park employee service node, M1 light industrial, and M2 general industrial zoning districts. And lastly, delete the allowance for accessory structures to exceed maximum height in the M3 manufacturing industrial zoning district. At the May 24, 2016 City Council meeting, Ordinance 5345 was considered. The proposed amendments were consistent with the City Council consensus of the September 21st, 2015 Council workshop. There was a motion to table Ordinance number 5345, and that was approved 4-1. And here we have the updates since the May 24, 2016 City Council meeting. On July 20th, 2016, Mr. Robert Eisen of Investments Limited provided to the city a proposed draft resolution providing for the creation and establishment of a Palmetto Park Road Bridge to Ocean Future Planning Task Force. A copy of this draft resolution is found in your packets under Exhibit 1. At the September 12, 2016 City Council workshop, the proposed resolution for a Bridge to Ocean Task Force was presented by Mr. Eisen. The City Council's consensus was to move forward without a formalized city-sanctioned task force. On September 30th, 2016, the Riviera Civic Association advised that they do not wish to continue with the planning process for the proposed Bridge to Ocean Task Force. A letter from the association is also found in Exhibit 1 in your packets. And since the September 2016 City Council workshop, staff has not received further materials from Mr. Eisen relating to building height in B1. Now, in the workshop memorandum, staff did indicate that since the September 2016 City Council workshop, we've not received further correspondence from Mr. Eisen regarding the proposed task force. However, after the packets were routed to you for today's workshop, I did receive an email from Mr. Eisen on December 7th stating the following. After the September 12th workshop, Investments Limited was ready to proceed as an unofficial ad hoc basis. Riviera Civic Association decided they did not want to proceed on an unofficial ad hoc basis. Consequently, there was never a resident business owner meeting on the Bridge to Ocean land use issues. The only matters ever discussed was formation of the task force prior to September 12th. On Bridge to Ocean issues, Investments Limited favors the status quo. That said, Investments Limited is ready, willing, and able to participate in any discussion or consideration of Bridge to Ocean issues with residents and or the city. And Investments Limited only asks that consideration of Bridge to Ocean issues not spill over to lands elsewhere in the city. And that concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to address any questions.
Well, thank you, Ms. Allen. And I think we got derailed in our desire to protect the Barrier Island residential from the B1 heights. And that's, I believe, where we started. Of course, we looked at B1 all over the city, and I think once it became so expansive, we ran into other issues. But I certainly, for one, support limiting B1 on the barrier island to 30 feet in height. I know that many of my colleagues share that, and I know we have a lot of people that have sat here all day long, and without further ado, unless there's more discussion from the council, I'd like to open up the public comment period on this item. Okay. Public comments are open now on this item. So please come forward. Give us your name and address. And you'll have 5 minutes to speak. Welcome, Mrs. Granite. Hi.
My name is Gladys Granite. I'm at 1424 Southwest 14th Street in Boca Raton. And the fact that you're talking about making, right now, B3 or B4 is a 3-story building. You can be 30, it can be a 30 feet high. You spoke about little children, you spoke about cars, you spoke about other things, and that all sounds like I don't want it going more than the 30 feet that we've got now. Okay. I think 30 feet, 3 feet is just fine.
Thank you so much for your comments.
Okay.
We appreciate you being here with us today. This is public comment on this issue. Welcome, Mr. Meany. You're wearing that yellow shirt, so someone has to be watching.
Yes. So Kevin Meany, 192 Northeast Spanish Trail, Boca Raton, Florida. I would like to thank the council for putting this back on the agenda for consideration. And the main point about this whole thing is what Mayor Haney has said, is that we need to protect the single-family residences that are adjacent to the B1 that have no setback where they could be looking at a 50-foot wall. They will lose value in their homes, and they will have a lesser quality of life. If, the people on the north side of Palmetto Park Road, if the buildings go to 50 feet, they won't get sunshine in their backyard in the wintertime. So that's all I have to say. With respect to the parking, when I used to advise the CEO and the board of on matters of IT spend, it was always, pick your poison. Thank you very much, and I will rally the troops when this does come for this is going to come for a decision before City Council at some other. Today is not a decision day, correct?
No, but we'll give direction to the city manager.
Thank you.
This is public comment on heights. Welcome, Mr. Granite.
Good afternoon. My name is Scott Granite. I live at 900 East Boca Raton Road. And I just wanted to weigh in on the B1 east of the bridge and say I think 30 feet is an appropriate height limit. Anything more than that on those very sliver sites, because they're really only 100 some odd feet deep and they're adjacent to single family residential, would be sort of out of character with our city and out of character with what would be appropriate. So I hope to keep it to the 30 feet that it's always been. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments. Is there any other public comment on this matter? Welcome.
Good afternoon. Mark Simmons at 510 Northeast Wavecrest Way. Also here with the many members of the Riviera Civic Association Board. Just want to reinforce our position that we would like to cap the B1 zone at 30 feet on the barrier island. It is a unique seaside village. We'd like to keep it that way and protect the homes that abut East Palmetto Park Road on the north and south side. So please consider that 30-foot height the max. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Appreciate your comment. This is public comment. Welcome.
Keith Nelson, 841 Park Drive East. I'm here to urge the City Council to cap the height of the P1 district at 30 feet. My home in Port Lamar directly abuts the P1. I'm probably the only person in this room who's directly affected by this. I'm asking the City Council to follow their own staff's recommendation to protect the single-family homes adjacent to the B1. I'm asking that we get the same protection from overdevelopment that the City Council appears to be giving to Boca Chica Golf Course residents. I'm asking that we get the same protection from requests for additional height that every other zoning district in Boca Raton enjoys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. We appreciate your comments. Welcome, Mr. Hendry.
Madam Mayor, City Council, James Hendry, 151 Northeast Sanish Trail. I'm actually really excited about the idea and the prospect of doing something special between the Intercoastal Bridge and A1A. This is an opportunity for each and every one of you to really join in and do something for the city that will add to its landmark value, which we already enjoy. But if you will trust in the fact that the residents of the area and the businesses in the area are willing to work together, and we could certainly use your support in this effort to do something absolutely special. I mean, I think we all really like Meisner Park and what it's done for our community and what it adds to our community. And I think the feeling within the community is that we could do something just as unique and genuine and expressive with regard to a small geographic area that will have a great import to our city and be a definite draw, not only to the visitors in that, but to the downtown, and invite people to a very special area. So our thinking on that line is to set this particular zone apart from the others and to honor the 30-foot height limit, and that we look forward to, we came up with Mr. Eisen and the folks at Investments Limited came up with a task force idea. We sat down and we noodled it with them. We had several meetings on the subject, and we want to work with them. But I think that to everybody's benefit, the more the city can support and work with us in any way possible to see that come to fruition will inure to the whole city and to the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hendry. We appreciate your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to participate in public comment on this matter? If not, I'll close the public comment period. Members?
A question for the city manager.
Mr. Weinroth.
The B1, does that go completely down to the water, or?
I'm going to ask staff to, you mean to like 1 South Ocean, for example?
Right.
Or, yeah, I'm not sure if it crosses over A1A or not, but Ms. Allen probably has that answer.
I do have a map, if you bear with me. Sorry, you have a lot of backup. Yeah, here you have, this is East Palmetto Park Road. The yellow is B1, the green are the residential zoning districts. So it doesn't go directly onto Ocean Boulevard. It's just
Is that
west,
the white at the end there, that's the meridian? Is that out of the
The
zone?
meridian's R5,
Yes,
yes.
that's
R5.
And 1 South Ocean is, I think, R3 or 4. It's not B1.
Right.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. B1 is, again, designated by yellow. We added B2, B4. We looked more at the business and some of the industrial zoning districts here in the legend. We just kind of put residential as green and.
Okay, I was just looking for clarification where it
yeah.
was ending. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so, Ms. Allen, that brings up the point. The properties along Palmetto Park Road between the Intracoastal and less the 2 parcels on A1A, are those business districts, are all those business properties B1?
They are zoned B1.
Okay.
Correct. You could see them, right.
Okay,
Right,
so
on either side.
if we give direction to have B1 on the barrier island capped at 30 feet height, if we give that direction, we will capture all those properties.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, that's my direction. Council,
Pardon?
what do you say?
Fine.
Mr. Malay says fine. Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, Madam Chair, thank you. So I know this came before us the first time with quite a few different zoning districts, all of B1, which includes a lot on Second, Boca Raton, Boulevard and some other areas. So I'd like to see it come back. I don't mind looking at all of B1 in that area, but I'd like it to come back to a split. So we have what I'd like to have is Beach B1, BB1, or B1 Beach, just the area along Palmetto. And if we want to look at those other areas, I think that's okay, but let's look at it. I would recommend we look at it separately because there are different issues there. It affects a lot larger areas. So I'd like to see it come back B1 Beach, and then if we want to look at the other stuff as well, I'm okay with that. But let's look at them apart from each other would be my desire. And I would also make one more point. A lot of the homeowners talked about protecting their immediate home values, but I think it's a citywide issue. It's a downtown issue. It's, I think the whole city benefits by having a nice little seaside beach feel in that area. So I'm pretty much for it.
Okay. Further comments or discussion? This end of the dais, you okay to move
I'm
forward?
fine with what you're proposing, Mayor, that we just keep ourselves focused on that area.
Just that-
on the
that-
barrier island, yes.
Right, and we will have public hearings on this matter. So we're just giving the city manager direction to move it forward to public hearings. Mr. Singer.
I concur, Madam Chair. I would look back at the notes from our May meeting when we had, by my count, 7 motions, some withdrawn. Nothing was successful to address it, so the clear consensus is refine it, keep it as simple as possible, and keep it to this area.
Okay.
So
Very
let's
good.
move forward. Mr. Meany reminded us that fall was approaching. We said we'd table it and pick it up back up in the fall. Today's the fall, so let's move forward. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Anello, that gives you direction.
Yes.